Daniel Amara here from McGrath Port Stephens. I'm here with Nathan Pensini. Nathan, as our operations manager, you're also our auctioneer. So we're going to ask you a few questions today. So a few tips for buyers in the lead up to auction. So let's put a few questions out there. All right, Nathan, so I'm a buyer. I've got a bit of an interest in a property. Should I let the agent know I'm interested, or should I be playing it cool?
Oh, Dan, absolutely. You should let the agent know. And the reason is because the agent needs to know where you're at, where your positioning is, and of course assist you in purchasing that property. It's a really important point. Playing it cool doesn't really work because you may miss out on an opportunity to buy.
Especially if it's sold prior.
Absolutely.
Yep, for sure. Thank you. Well, would an owner consider an offer prior to auction, and under what circumstances would they, wouldn't they, or should they, shouldn't they?
Oh, look, I think owners should consider every offer coming to them either prior to auction or on auction day. And the reason why you would consider something prior to auction is you don't want to miss that opportunity, right? So if you're a buyer, it's important to put your best foot forward and make sure that you're showing your hand before auction day as well, just in case there is that opportunity to purchase that property.
Yep. And if I was looking to make an offer prior to auction, is there any sort of ground rules around how I need to put that offer forward?
Most definitely. That offer needs to be in writing to the agent because as agents, as you know, we have to put that offer forward in writing to that vendor. So absolutely, offer in writing and make sure it's a strong, confident offer within your budget range.
Yep, sure. All right. What do I need in place? So auction, let's say auction's coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
I want to come and bid. What do I need to do? What do I need to make sure I've got in place prior to the auction?
Number one, and most importantly, as we find, Dan, in this instance, is make sure your finance is there. Make sure you understand that your finance is approved and make sure you know your limit. You must know your limit and also that little bit of stretch limit, because what we find as auctioneers, we ask, ma'am and sir, absolutely sure, are you out? And there's always that chance that someone does have that little bit more. So you'll have your limit and then you'll have your stretch limit. So I think that's an important thing to do.
And of course, deposit on the day.
Must have your deposit. And the important part about that is deposit limit. As we know, quite often we get to a point where we go to do that deposit and it's like, we don't have enough money or enough transfer that amount of money. So it's important to have that limit adjustment done.
Yep.
And know what that limit adjustment is.
Sure. And what about, so I'm going to come and bid, let's say I'm bidding on behalf of myself and my wife, but it's just me there. Mm-hmm. Anything I need around that?
Yeah, we do. So we need to make sure we've got the ID of the partner and we need to have, so you can bid just yourself, so you can bid on behalf of, but we need to make sure that we've got all the details of the two people purchasing on the day and bring that information with you.
Yep, sure. All right. Just check my questions here. Just give me a quick rundown, how does the auction actually work? So I turn up on the day, what happens from there?
Yeah. So turn up on the day, we get the registrations done first, so you must register. You must bring along your ID. If you're bidding on behalf of your company, might be a superannuation fund or your business, you'll need to bring along that paperwork, identifying you're a director of that particular company. So we do the registration, you're giving a paddle, and what's important about that is you must raise that paddle each and every time that you're bidding on the day at the auction. And then really it's about, I guess, making sure that you know where you're up to, right? Make sure you've got that limit set in your mind. And when the auctioneer calls for an opening bid, don't be afraid because you've made the registration. And if you've made the registration, it means you're intent on buying that property. So make sure you put your best foot forward. And the best foot forward doesn't always mean that first number is going to be the number that buys the property.
No.
It's just where you'd like to start.
Yep.
And what's important, Dan, as you know, we talk about it all the time as auctioneers, is that bid needs to be respectful to the property.
Yes.
It needs to be respectful to the property and a number that's within that guide and that feedback or the discussion that you might have had with the agent.
For sure. Trying to bid low at some ridiculous figure is just going to get the owner offside. So if it does need to go into a negotiation, there's less chance of them being friendly towards you.
Absolutely. And as auctioneers, we're within our right to reject that bid.
Yep.
And if we do reject a bid, it does become a little bit uncomfortable. We try not to do it because it isn't the best situation.
Yep.
But certainly, nice strong bidding, confident bidding, and making sure that we're doing that legal obligation.
And what is it they say? 80% of so people who make the first bid, 80% of the time are the successful bidder in the end.
Absolutely, we see it all the time.
Yep,
we see it all the time.
So
And
getting out early is often a good sign of encouragement for yourself.
definitely, 100%.
Definitely. All right. What happens if the property doesn't sell at auction?
So the property doesn't sell, gets passed in, or sometimes we might call it setting it aside. If it gets passed in on the highest bidder, then that particular highest bidder has first right of negotiation up until midnight on that auction day. So the important part about that is when we open the auction, it means we've opened the public auction, and that highest bidder gets the opportunity to negotiate up until midnight.
Yep. All right. And what about some tips or handy sort of insights for anyone looking to come along to an auction and bid?
Yeah, definitely. I think the number one thing is something we've already mentioned, but it's know your limit. I can't stress that enough.
Yep.
Know your limit, know what you're prepared to pay, and then add that padding in. So if there's a little bit more that you're prepared to go, make sure you know that. It's definitely making sure that your deposit limit is set and ready to go. You know how much you'll need to transfer. And of course, some people will ask the question, well, how do I know what it's going to sell for? You'll know within a range, within a limit of
Yes,
that.
yeah.
Making sure you've got your identification, and most importantly, I guess that you turn up on time.
For sure.
Quite often we have them skating in the door with a
Very
couple of
last
minutes to
minute.
go, and it makes you as a purchaser anxious about that.
Yep.
And another important thing, Dan, is have a chat to the agent because we're trying to help
Yep.
people purchase property.
Yes.
We want an outcome for our vendor, but we also want an outcome for the purchaser. It's just as important for us to make sure that we help people on their property journey.
And it's good if they're comfortable.
Of course, yeah. And by meeting us and having a discussion with us, it means that the buyer has knowledge of us as well and has a relationship with us.
Yep. Final question. I'm going to come along to an auction this afternoon. A little bit nervous. Might just drop by the Seabreeze for a few beforehand. Good idea or not?
No, not a good idea. And remember, why it's not a good idea is as auctioneers, we have to make an assessment to make sure that a person has got a sound mind and ability to be able to bid. Because remember, we can't sell to someone that can't make a decision. And I actually had this situation once where I had that exact example pop up. So that's an important point, is to make sure that when you do arrive at the auction, that you are sound, ready to make a decision, and not impaired by anything.
Head for a coffee or tea before the auction.
Exactly.
Rather than the pub.
Yeah,
So,
pub after.
pub afterwards, yes, most definitely. To go home and celebrate then.
Exactly.
So Nathan, thank you. And for any buyers out there looking to come to an auction, good luck. And if you do have any further questions, give our office a call, give any of our sales agents, or give Nathan a call, and we'll be more than happy to help you out.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.